Welcome to the 52nd episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome to returning viewers, and for those of you watching for us for the first time, we're glad you could be here. It's exciting. We've got some new crafts that we've done, both Colleen and I, and so you'll have to wait to watch those in our craft adventure piece. But before we begin, Colleen's going to talk about what she is wearing.
So I am wearing the Rocket Tee by Tanis Lavallee. She's from Tanis Fiber Arts. She writes beautiful patterns. Now, the one that you see in this picture has fingering weight yarn and mohair. And as I had mentioned in a previous podcast, I tend to buy 2 skeins of yarn, fingering weight yarn, to make a shawl. And I thought, okay, I can use 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn to make this. And so the yarn itself was Polka Dot Creek Classic Sock from Airdrie, Alberta. And I did buy this when I was in Alberta, so it was wonderful. And I'm really happy with it.
Turned out nice. Looks great.
This is actually the first time I've had it on. I did it, blocked it, and I think, oh my gosh, this is really comfortable. Like we're in an air-conditioned house, but it's cool.
It looks really good. I like the V-neck. It's different. Yeah, it looks
like
style's nice. Great.
Well, thank you. So that's what I'm wearing, and next we're going to talk about finished objects. My first finished object, yarn chicken. It was a little crazy, so I'm going to show you that. Now, this calls it the Doctor Who shawl triangle with lace trim. It's by Jennifer Thiele, who's the yarn therapist. But if you go to look for this on Ravelry, it is Shawls for All Stripes. It's a lovely pattern. It's not very expensive. I think it was $1 when I purchased it. So I was really, really happy with that. I had bought the yarn from Jenna Thiele. And so this was the Romantic Goth colorway, and it was 150 grams. Now we're going to talk about what I did. So here is this lovely thing. Now, I'll leave that there.
Is this the one that the lady had to figure out mathematically how each stripe's going to be?
Don't know how she does it. So it's amazing that it was a cake, and you can see all the stripes are the same.
This turned out absolutely gorgeous.
It feels lovely.
So I saw this when you were knitting it, but I haven't really seen this finished
since it's blogged.
But it's been it's gorgeous. It turned out just wonderful. The colors are melding together, and the stripes are all even. How did that happen?
I think a lot of planning on Jennifer Thiele's, the yarn therapist's idea.
It's gorgeous.
Now here is what I had left.
Now that is yarn chicken.
That is yarn chicken. I was hardly breathing when I was finishing this thing. Now, to be honest with you, there was a little bit of extra yarn in the cake, but it was a blue color that doesn't show up anywhere else in the colorway. And I thought, I like the colors as they are. I like the size of it that it is, so I'm just going to finish it.
It is a great size, and it's a nice weight.
I really do like it.
And I love all those details. Look at
that.
that.
And it's so nice because you get all these colors. There's no ends to weave in as far as every time you start a new color, a new end. So I'm really, really happy with that.
That'd be a nice project for somebody to start that's out there that wants to do
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a great pattern. I would recommend that for sure.
And my folding skills are getting improved since I'm being taped,
so that's good.
Watching me fold. A little nervous, but there we go. There we go.
Okay, so that's that. Now, my second finished object is the Honey Cowl, and that's by Antonia Shankland. And I use the yarn Sirdar Snuggly Baby Bamboo DK. And this all came about because May wore hers. And I thought, I really like that. And I know I bought yarn.
And I liked it on. It felt really nice on.
So I bought myself 2 skeins because I tend to wear things a little bit more.
Fuller?
That's good. A little bit fuller. Yep, that's exactly. I'm thinking, I was going to say more. No, you're right. Fuller is the way. So it's going to squish down. It is, if you can see, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of a fairly open work without being lace.
It's nice and light, but it is. It's very light, but it looks heavy.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Where would mine be about this? So you would just cut mine a little shorter.
Basically in half.
Yeah.
So this is 80% bamboo and 20% wool.
Nice.
So it's going to hold its shape. It's got great drape. So I'm really, really happy
I might have to borrow that at some point when I'm wearing my purple outfit.
I'm thinking she doesn't even have a purple outfit. So I'm not worried about it at all. All right. All right, so my third finished object is called, I think it's Shila. It's a lace shawl pattern by Dee O'Keefe. And I had to find a shawl for this yarn. So the yarn is Creek Gardens Crafts. So this is the 100% Pima cotton. It is beautiful. So if you get a chance to buy some, I would. And this was when I started to make the Canyon Creek shawl by Cozy Up Knits. And it was looking exactly the same as something else that I'd done. So I decided...
And you blocked this already?
I did block this.
Oh, wow. This is gorgeous. This is beautiful.
I really, really like it.
Yeah, this is a keeper too. This is nice.
Exactly. I like the open work. I do like this triangle shape. I do enjoy that because you can wrap it around, use a shawl cuff.
It's very nice and light.
Yes, I really, really like how it came out.
Lots of different weights for lots of different seasons, that's for sure.
Exactly. So I'm really happy with that.
Wow.
And I had...
Beautiful colors.
I know.
They kind of go in together.
I know, yes.
Did you plan it that way, or did they come as
They actually came as a set. So this is Penny from Creek Gardens Crafts, and she has an eye for color.
Oh, yeah,
and it's really, really nice.
Because that's a great color.
I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, I had a little bit left, so I'll show you
that's
that
a beautiful
in works
blue.
in progress. Yes, I really like it.
Nice. Great job.
Okay, so that's that. Now I have one more finished object, and it is a sewing object, so it's a little bit different. But we were in Scotland, I think it's 2 years ago now, which is hard to believe. And I thought, I'm going to buy a tea towel and then I'll make it into a project bag. It was
a great idea.
It was a great idea.
It was a great idea, but you kept thinking about it. And
then I thought, how am I going to do it? What am I going to do? And I thought, okay, enough's enough. I'm going to give it a shot. So here is it. So the tea towel was the Scottish wildflowers.
Hi, Ellen in Scotland, if you're watching. You can appreciate this.
So I took it, cut the tea towel in half, figured out the size that I needed to do, and I put a strap on. I debated. May gets tired of me sometimes when I'm debating because it takes me days to debate, because I was trying to put a cream strap on and it wasn't working. So I actually sewed the strap to go with that other. And
I'm glad you debated because it did turn out nice, the strap. And
I'm really, really happy with it. So I'm just going to, if you hold that up, I'm going to just do this. So it's a great drawstring bag. It's going to be nice to carry around, easy to take care of. And the weight of the tea towel is a nice weight. I did put some interfacing on it.
Nice lining in there.
Yes, I did put some interfacing on it because I just wanted it to have a little bit more structure.
I love it. It turned out amazing.
I'm really happy with it.
The colors are brilliant. The tea towel idea, the fact that we got Scottish wildflowers on there, it's just amazing.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Now, I had one that was all kinds of crazy sheep on it, and I washed it.
Oh, and the dyes.
The color faded.
Right.
So be careful. If you're going to do that with the tea towel, decide how often do you think you're going to wash your project bag. This one was washed, but it didn't fade. It didn't fade.
No,
but
the colors were brilliant
really,
on there.
Faded.
Really nice.
Exactly.
I think you could make maybe not the Scottish ones because you only had the one. It's a one of a kind, really.
Yeah.
But you could make these to sell these. I think people would buy these. What do you think? I think if you were a knitter, this would be like a perfect bag.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy.
Yeah, and I would charge like $180.
Let's just say I won't be in business very long. That's for sure.
Just because I couldn't do that. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, great job.
So those are my finished objects, and I know that May has some finished objects.
I do, and I'm going to talk to you about my finished objects in the MC Knitting Crafting Adventures, and I'm going to maybe explain a little bit more on how to.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And I also have a little video on a shop that I visited, so make sure you watch that segment of MC Knitting Crafting Adventures.
Perfect. So next we're going to talk about works in progress. My first work in progress is May's favorite cowl. Now, I had enough left of the Creek Gardens Crafts set, so it was navy and forage, to make one. And I played around with it and I made really thick stripes and I didn't like it. But the Anguli cowl looks like this.
Now this is not for me, this is for you.
Yes.
So that we're clear.
This is for me. Yes, yes.
But it is my favorite.
It is, but it's for me. So I'll make her another one. That's good.
I know you will.
I will, absolutely.
This seems a little lighter than mine though, like the yarn, or is it?
This is cotton.
Oh,
all right,
okay.
so there's no wool in this one. So I'm just going to show you this. So this is what I worked out. So I've been playing with the stripes. I'm going to have enough. I have one more set of blue stripes to put in, and I have a little bit of blue left. I have that much of the other one. And I just have to make this side as long as that side, and I think we're going to be in good shape because the rows are decreasing at
It's
this
turning
point
out quite
in time.
nice.
I really like it.
Like,
And
I know you had done some thicker ones earlier, and
Yeah.
we both
It
looked
wasn't
at it,
good.
and we both thought, you know, there's something just not right. But look what
Yeah,
you've done. This has
exactly.
turned out great.
So
How did you figure all that out? You just
I played it in my brain.
Oh.
Now, I had to do something because part of the reason why I didn't want to do the stripes this way is because the way that they have that, when you do a right side row, you start it down here. And what that meant was you were going to end up with all these threads. And I thought, no, I don't have to do that. So, and the other thing is when I was carrying this yarn to do the next one, it was showing up too much. So what I decided to do was turn things around a little bit. So I flipped the whole thing around. So my initial wrong side was my right side. And then I could start the right side from the top. And then that's going to just kind of like compress down and then it'll be in good shape.
Sometime I like to get into that little braid of yours and see how that works, because
It's a scary place to be.
it must be scary.
You do not want to
Flipping
be
this
there.
and flipping that.
That's right.
And figuring this. Oh my
I
gosh.
know.
I just keep it simple. Anyway, it turned out really nice.
Yes, and I
Turned
think
out
it will
nice.
block out nicely as well. I'm really looking forward to
It'd be
finishing
nice to
that
see
one
what
out. It's
that's
getting
laid up
close.
nice, what it looks like on.
So, speaking of using up leftover, so I had made a short sleeve sweater out of some Emma's yarn, crazy beautiful color, super silky. Loved it. We bought it in Florida. We were at the Four Pearls yarn shop. Love it. So it's done. And then I thought, I have almost a full skein left. I just had to go into it a little bit. So I found this pattern, which is Birds and Ships, say it carefully, by Caitlin Hunter. Love the pattern. And you will think, boy, oh boy, we've seen this. Is this the same episode? And it isn't. It's the same thing, but it's not the same episode. So what I did was, you and I talked about it on the episode. It looked kind of thin, skinny. And I thought, oh, it'll block out. And I thought, I don't want to have to block it out. So I thought, initially I was going to block it and see how it went. And then I thought, you know, Colleen, there's a thing called gauge. And it's in the pattern. And you could check it out. And so I checked it out. And I was supposed to be, I'm pretty sure it was getting 21 stitches over 4 inches. And I was getting 23.
Does that matter that much? Like two?
It matters. It means it was a lot smaller. And that was causing some of the problems. So I ripped the whole thing out. I ripped it out. And now here we are. So I'm back on track. I'm getting close to being ready to do the ribbing at the end of it.
I can see why it wouldn't matter, because this is thin pattern anyway. And then
Exactly. So this has a lot more drape. It's going to block out. Like I can pull it. I'm going to try and not pull it this much. So I will definitely block it to open up this lace. But sometimes, and that's what we talked about in our last episode, you just have to rip it out. Just get rid of it, wind it back up,
That's
and
where
do
we
that.
said if it doesn't bring you joy,
Rip it out. That's exactly what we talked
And
about.
you know, that being a knitter, you can do that and start over with your
Exactly.
stuff. When I do woodworking, I can't recut.
I know.
So that's why they say measure twice, cut
Exactly.
once. But I
And
measure 4 times and I cut about.
Well, I have to admit, when I debate with you about what I'm sewing, that's the reason why. Because once you cut the fabric, it's done. And when I was making that tea towel bag,
You can't undo that.
I
tea
can't
towel.
undo it.
And it was one of a kind.
And it was one of a kind because it was going to be
Yeah.
very expensive to go back to Scotland to get a tea towel. So I'm really happy with that, and I'm happy with this. I'm really glad that I ripped it
Yeah.
out. So
Well, it looks good.
thank you. So that's my second one. And my last one is the Anker sweater by PetiteKnit. Now this is for little ones, and this goes from 3 to 6 months all the way up to 7 to 8 years. And you and I both know it's a pattern that I absolutely love. And I thought I would try and use some yarn that you can buy at Michael's. So this is Loops and Threads. It's called Joy DK. And the joy about that is you can get a coupon and it helps out. So I am still on the first ball. And here's what it looks like. It is so cute. So I'm really happy. That's still the first ball. So there's going to be a lot. This is going to
love
be
the
long
color.
sleeves. I am happy with it too.
Love the color. That's going to be
Yeah.
cute for whoever wants to wear that. It's beautiful.
Exactly. So I'm really happy with it. This is
Nice.
100% anti-pilling acrylic. So with the little one, machine wash, machine dry.
Very cute.
No problem. So I'm happy with that. It's just something a little bit different to do. I knit
bigger ones,
big
3 or
one,
4
two,
bigger
three.
ones.
Yes.
And you enjoyed knitting it yourself.
I really
and it
liked
comes
it.
together quite quickly, I believe.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm really happy with that. I thought I'd like to try some on. There are cardigans by PetiteKnit. There's a hat, like a bonnet, that is in that pattern.
Right.
I really like how it keeps things in, but it doesn't feel too tight.
Yeah, I love it.
It's got that space to do.
Nice. All me these grandbabies now.
That's a whole
other conversation.
Nobody's ready, so we're good. Anyway, those are my works in progress, and next we're going to talk about our crafting adventures.
Welcome to MC Craft Adventures. Colleen, I think you have an update on what you were doing. That I can't say that word.
Amigurumi.
Amigurumi, that's
There we
it.
go.
We
keep
talked about it
practicing.
last time, but you've had an opportunity to do it.
Exactly. So I was working with this kit from Janine Holmes, and there was enough in here to do 2 little critters. Okay, I think there's 10 different patterns in there. So I could do the penguin or the koala, and I decided to do the penguin first. Now I made little videos, but it was just snippets of the order of what you had to do. So you know, start at the head, work your way down. And what I found as I was working with, it does come with this lovely crochet hook. But I was finding, because when you do amigurumi, you've got to make your stitches really tight. And my hand was getting tired. So I knew that I had a clover, which has a more ergonomic handle. So I grabbed that, and then life got a little bit better. The other thing, when I was talking about all the things that were in this kit, I didn't mention that there had been stuffing, because there's the box, there's the stuffing, and it was in a vacuum sealed package that was tucked in this box. So it was amazing. So truly, everything you need is in here, including the darning needle and everything. I was happy with it. So here is this lovely little critter.
Now, was it finicky to do? Was it,
You know, it is detail work. So back in the day, May and I used to make cakes. And so there was always detail work that had to be dealing with, because we did fondant, we made a coach purse.
We did.
We did all kinds of things out of cake. And so now I'm using some of those talents in the detailed work to make something like this.
So if you like detail work, this kind of thing would be for you.
It's great. But I'm telling you, the pattern is really cool. So you start at the head, you work your way down, then you stuff it, and you tidy up the bottom. Then you have to, well, if you work partway down, if you're going to put in the safety eyes, which I decided to do, you need to put them in before you do the body. It's all the instructions are in this. So if you think that you have somebody in your life that wants to do amigurumi, this would be the trick, or would enjoy one of these.
Are they easy instructions?
The instructions were great. Now, what I really like about this is that they were smart in that there's 2 little feet, but if all you do is put on the 2 little feet, then what happens is you're in trouble. So there's the 2 little feet.
Those are cute.
Right, but it won't stand up. So what they do is they have this lovely little tail at the back, and that creates that almost like a tripod, so it allows it to stand up. These, I called them arms when I was doing my little video. These are flippers, but they aren't stuffed. And so you can move them a little bit up, a little bit down when you sew them on. And then this cap is crocheted separately, and then you sew it on as well. So it was fun to do. It was something new. I am going to do the koala. Absolutely. I will do that one. And then we'll show that to you.
So
But
recommend that kit?
that kit is a great kit. I'd never tried amigurumi. I was able to do it. It looks close to what the picture did in the book, so I'm happy with that, because sometimes things don't look like that. But I'm really happy with it. I understand that I put safety eyes, and that means this couldn't be for somebody under the age of 3. So maybe when I do the koala, I won't use the safety eyes that come with that.
Good idea.
Exactly. So
Right.
that was my crafting adventure. Definitely adventure. Definitely recommend it. It is detailed work. So if you're not a detailed person and you don't want to be dealing with little things like that, then maybe it's amigurumi's not for you. But I loved it. It was fun. I'm a detailed person. So that's that. Okay, so that was my crafting adventure. And May, now it's your turn.
Of course, you know, I'm doing a little bit of woodworking, and this is my bear.
These are beautiful, by the way. Like, you did an amazing job.
Now, this wasn't my idea. I got this idea from Alicia English. She's a fellow YouTuber, and she kind of inspires me. She did a larger one with a moose on it, and I used 1x2s, pieces of wood. She used 1x5, so she made it
it was
big.
huge.
And you can make these as big as you want.
Right.
You can just take these 1x2s and you can make it as large. That's the cool thing
Right,
about this
right.
kind of thing. So what you do is you get the 1x2s, you lay them out, your pattern, and just get the sizes. You draw your picture on there. Then you take your picture, and you have to have a scroll saw for this particular project. And then you scroll saw that out.
Right.
And then you put it on the back. Now, Alicia English, I took the idea from her, but she has a tutorial on her YouTube channel on how to paint this kind of pattern.
Oh, wow.
But it looks so labor intensive. Like, there was so many straight lines.
Goodness.
There was so much detail.
Right.
There was so much patience involved and so much painter's tape that I thought, I do not have the patience for all of that. So I thought, what can I do? And then I realized that we had bought some of this material.
Right.
And I thought I could just glue the material on to make it simpler, you know, and I don't have to go through that process that Alicia did.
That was a smart idea. That was really, really smart.
She does have the tutorial on how to do that.
Oh, good.
So if you did want to learn how to paint this, then you could do that, but I have no patience for it. So the material was a great idea. So I came up with the bear drawing myself.
Right.
And put it on a little plaque. And that looks like that, so
It's
you can
gonna-
just
it's
hang it up.
beautiful.
That'd be great for somebody's cottage or something like that.
Absolutely.
So then, because she did the moose idea, I thought it looked really nice on the moose.
Right.
I thought I would do the moose idea.
I like this one too.
This one's turned out nice too. I like it.
Absolutely, it's great.
And it's a little larger, and so you can make it. You can make it as big as, as you want.
Right.
And maybe next time I'll try what Alicia did, the 1x5s.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Like pieces of
I
wood.
don't know how you do all this. Oh my goodness.
Well, it's just a scroll saw.
Oh, okay.
It's like
she
a sewing.
says just a scroll saw. Like, oh my goodness.
They say it's just like a sewing machine, only it's a blade instead of a needle.
Okay.
It's a safe. Yeah.
Okay.
So then you can cut out what you like. I love it. I might upgrade my scroll saw.
I think you should. I think you're enjoying
Mine's
it.
about 20 years old, so
yeah, it doesn't owe you
it
anything.
kind of shakes a little bit. But anyway, yes. So that's that.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah, and I have some other. I talked about miniatures. I have a little bit of story to tell you and the viewers. I get my wood from the local farmer down the road here. And in doing so, they ask me why I'm buying all these little pieces of wood, and I say that I'm doing little miniature. I make furniture, which I'll show you. I make furniture for the doll's house.
Very nice.
Now, I didn't do the top part, but I did the bottom part.
And you figured out how to do the hinges.
Figured out how to hinges.
That's fantastic.
I tried hinges, but I ended up pinning it, and then I put this on top because
Okay.
this piece was broken. The legs broke off,
you
so I
would
made
know
the
it.
base.
You painted it. Oh, it looks great.
Yeah, so I made the base to match that.
That was brilliant.
I made a couch.
Oh my goodness me.
These are all 1 to 12
Oh,
scale.
that's what I was going to ask you, what
Yeah.
the scale was. Oh,
So-
little kids would have fun with that stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
And,
Oh, you're a talented soul.
Well,
Yes,
I
you
made
are.
a little dresser drawer here for the
Right.
table.
Mm-hmm.
I made a dining room table.
Very nice.
And I made another dining room table.
Oh, that's nice too. I like the crossing
Yeah.
of the legs.
Yeah, that makes it sturdier for
Yeah,
that.
I really like it.
So now I have to make some chairs, but that's
Right.
detailed work.
Yes.
So those are the kinds of things that I get my wood from. I make my wood from a little man down here.
Right.
So in doing so, they said they know somebody that does miniatures.
Wow.
And they said maybe you could give them a call, and I said sure, I'd be interested in doing that. So sure enough, I called a girl named Maria, and they do miniatures, and they have a whole group, and they do them once a month.
That's exciting.
I know, and who knew? Anyway, so she got me in touch with the president, who is Marg, and Marg kindly invited me out to see what they do, because I had lots of questions on how this worked and what do they do.
Right.
And Marg says, look, I can't really explain it, but why don't you come on out? So sure enough, put my mask on. We kept socially distant.
Good for you.
And I'm going to put a little video in here of my trip to Marg's house, because I can't even explain
No.
what I saw.
No, and I've had the preview, and it's a brilliant. Oh my gosh, that lady's so talented. She does so many neat things.
I know she's very talented, and
Yeah.
this is over a 30-year period that she's done collections and done these
Wow,
miniatures.
that's amazing.
Now it's they do 1:24 scale sometime, 1:12 scale. I was a little intimidated by the tiny, my pieces are a little larger
Right.
that I make, so it is going to be interesting to see if I can go that small.
Right.
Mark said she uses a magnifying glass because I know as you get older, your eyes aren't as good.
That's
So
true.
I'll put that video in, and then we'll have a chat about it when we come back. When I first walked into the room, I could not believe the amount of miniatures. I've never seen anything like it. This one here is a picture frame. It's made into a shadow box. The details are magnificent. The flower shop, all the flowers I believe Mark said were made from paper. I just can't imagine the amount of work that was. It was kind of neat for this one. It's called the Four Seasons. You have winter, you have fall, summer, and spring. Oh, here we have Doug's Diner. The details in this are absolutely amazing. I can't even imagine the amount of work involved in this. All the food, Mark said, was made from Fimo, which is, again, like polymer clay. I call this one Rabbie Burns Cottage. Log cabin, Marg said, was from a kit, but Marg made all the details inside, like the bedding, the slippers, the rugs, the food on the table, the little cups. Magnificent, the lighting. bake shop again, the details and all those little cakes. I can't imagine the work involved. We have the sewing room. I love all the quilting on the wall. Marg made all those tiny little quilts on the walls. This is neat. Her husband is a motorcyclist, has a few motorcycles, so she made this garage, which is, again, the details are amazing. Around the corner was an ice machine and some other items. These are actually hat boxes that have the hat lid over them. We didn't have the hat lids on them, but you can just imagine the lid going on them, so it protects them, and then you open the lid and then you have these little miniatures. Hand sewn dresses by Marg. This was a workshop Marg made all these little items at this workshop. Another hat box. That's actually their wedding photo in the trunk that was reduced. Farm Girl produce. This was, the colors here were just magnificent. All the little fruits and vegetables were all made from Fimo. And there's a flower stand, and the flowers were all again made from paper. My friend bought this from Marg in Florida many years ago.
Wow. And look at here.
Marg was kind enough to give me a tour of her craft room. As we went downstairs, we looked at some of the small things that she had made. Those are little tiny tomatoes, and they look good enough to eat. I walked into the craft room and thought, wow, I could not believe it. It's every crafter's dream with every crafter's gadget you could think of. They have a cricket maker. This was awesome, one of my favorites. Marg's granddaughter paints photos, paints pictures on canvas, and then Marg reduces them and paint the paintings into little miniatures, and she made an art gallery for her granddaughter. So of all the pictures that she's painted, she put in the art gallery. I thought, I'm going to use this idea for myself. Great idea. Marg also makes cards, which are very amazing. I think she uses the Spellbinder's machine in order to help create these magnificent cards. There's so much to see and everything is so organized. All these little miniature hand knits. I know those knitters out there, you'll appreciate that. These are hand knit by Marg. And that's the end of the tour. Thank you so much. Amazing. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and I'm glad I could share this with you. What did you think of that work?
Oh my goodness, it's amazing. The
wow.
detail. And she sews those little dresses?
She sews all those little dresses.
I'm going to have to learn how to do that.
The chandelier was made of those crystals.
Swarovski
crystals.
Oh my goodness.
The one chair, a lot of the times that she went to workshops to learn how to do things.
Right.
So a lot of the, she had like a leather chair there with a leather ottoman.
Yeah.
And I think it was like, she said $150. She went to the workshop on how to
Right.
do this. She did all the little boots, the little hats.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing.
So I am going to be part of the club.
Yay!
It doesn't start up until September. And they meet once a month.
Okay.
And everybody, I'm not really quite sure how it all works yet, but I'll keep you informed as I go. It sounds like everybody does a little bit of a project and gives it to all the people. And I think there's about 21 people in the group.
Oh, great.
So I'm pretty excited about that. Those are my craft adventures.
And next we're going to talk about souvenirs. So when we talk about souvenirs right now, usually it's ordering something that's coming to the house. And May, as you know, sometimes gets surprised at things that come into the house. So we'll see if I can surprise her. Because I've done some work with amigurumi, I decided I would order some cotton yarn, and then and I ordered this from Amazon, and it came fairly quickly. And there, I'll let you hold it up.
Oh, I like all these colors.
Exactly. So this has 20 skeins. I think they're either 25 grams or 20 gram skeins, but it's all different colors. So I thought if I'm going to do more amigurumi, I would do that, and then I can get patterns, and then I can go from there. So it was a good price. I got 21s, and there's lots of colors to choose from.
Nice.
Yep, so I'm really, really happy
Never
with
seen that before, so that's kind of neat.
Surprise. 25 grams. I just checked. They're 25 grams. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I ordered was something from Chapters, and I'll explain why. May says I always rationalize, which is somewhat true. So I had a $10 card that had to be used before the 1st of July. So about a week and a bit ago, I thought, let me take a look. So there was a book, but it was on pre-order. It was almost at that threshold so that you get free shipping, and it wasn't quite. So I thought, okay, I'll just look for some little something that was close enough and it would do it. And I thought, I'm going to look for something knitting wise. So you're going to think, what the heck am I talking about? So this is by Love and Lore, and they call it their zipper jewelry bag. It says precious things on it. So it really is for jewelry. So there's a little zipped pocket. There is this snap that you can open and put earrings or rings on. There's another thing here for rings, so you can see that I put on some stitch markers. I put over here, this is for earrings, like posts and those kind of things. I've got some stitch markers and that. And then there's a little pocket over here, so I put in a little pair of scissors. So instead of it being for jewelry, I'm using it kind of as a notions pouch. It zips all the way up so things aren't going to fall off.
So we can travel again, that's what you would take.
I would take that. And the other thing is, if I'm not taking this because I can use something else as a notions pouch, then I could use this for my jewelry because that's what it's for. Now, the reason why I ordered this, because it was half price. So it was good. It made me just over that threshold, so I got free shipping. So probably in the end, this was free. And I had my $10 coupon. And so it was a win-win-win-win-win all the way around.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. So that was that. Now, I watch knitting podcasts, and I watch a lot of them. And one of my favorite ones is Cozy Up Knits. So those are the ladies from Grand Prairie, Alberta's 4 sisters, and they were talking about a pattern, and it's called the sock set shawl is what the pattern is. The pattern's done, it's being tested, it's going to get out pretty soon, and they showed one of their samples. And I loved it. Now, the wool comes from Polka Dot Creek, which is what this is, and it is called Classic Sock. So her sock set comes with 2 20-gram minis, and that's what you need to make the shawl. Now, the skeins won't be as nicely wound up because it came in this bag, right?
Is it all squished?
It was all squished. But, so this is birch. And this is spruce, and this is chocolate.
Wow, that's a great combination.
It is a great combination. And I thought, that's what I want.
I kind of notice when dyes come together like this, they're often a match, like a perfect match.
Right. So my understanding is what the dyer will do is make some colors and then use some of these as speckles.
Oh,
highlights another way to do it in the yarn.
Nice. That's why
it's
it
going to
works
be
out
nice.
so nice.
Exactly. So I'm
Perfect
really
match.
excited about that. The pattern isn't out yet, but I have seen it knit up. And
So it's a
with
pair of
those
socks,
colors.
you're saying?
No, actually, that's the cool thing. So lots of times, I have another set that looks like this, but instead of making socks, because sometimes when you buy yarn like this, I don't want it on my feet. I want to wear it around my neck.
Yeah,
so
this
that's
is too nice for socks.
Exactly. So that's why the pattern is called the sock set shawl. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. So I'm really happy with
See,
that.
somebody like me got confused. I thought it was for socks.
I know. Well, you know what? Back in the day, it was for socks. It's called a sock set.
Okay.
But
they're using it for shawl.
the Cozy Up Designs ladies have made something to
They're
for
so
a shawl.
smart.
They are very smart and funny, and I love to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
So we have been busy. We've been at home doing what our job is to quarantine and
Lots of projects.
lots of projects, and it makes us happy, and we're so glad that we can do this for you. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know if there's a craft that you're doing that you'd like us to give it a try, because we're kind of game
Right.
to give something a try. My lovely little amigurumi, I thought, I don't know, we'll see, and I'm happy with it. So it's always fun to
Yeah,
give
I'm always
something a try.
experimenting with something new. if we do get to 700 subscribers, you are going to have a giveaway again, correct?
I'm going to sew a project bag.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. You know, it's funny. We keep bouncing. So we went to $6.97, and then we went back down to $6.95, and then I think this morning we were back at $6.96.
So we're close.
We are close.
So subscribe so
Yeah.
that you can put your name in for that. What is it you're going to make?
Project bag.
Project bag.
Exactly.
Now, another thing is, I really appreciate the comments. I know you appreciate the comments also.
Absolutely. That's right.
I feel like, there's the whole diehard. I can mention all of your names here, but I would be afraid that I would miss somebody.
Right.
You know who you are. You know who you are. You comment all the time. And all your positive comments, we really appreciate them. And it's so nice to hear from you every month. I look forward to that. Every
Exactly.
month. So
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
To those of you, our subscribers who do that. So we really appreciate it.
Exactly.
And that's all
That's this episode. And until next time.
you take care.